It's your boy King 89, and we back after what, maybe a month. I've been going for a little bit, a few weeks, or whatever like that. This might be what, the second live, the first 89 cast in the new spot or whatever like that. But let's talk about dumbassery. You understand what I'm saying? A quick note, because I thought of this as I was getting the live up. Before we start talking about who, in my opinion, maybe the dumbest rapper of all time, there is another one that, in my opinion, is right up there with him. Thug. What is going on, bro? What the fuck is going on? Why? It's obvious that the label shifts that's been going on since Young Thug first got locked up is having an effect on Young Thug. It's obvious he don't have the right people in his corner anymore, or the people that he's used to in his corner anymore, and now he's just left to his own devices to do a whole bunch of bullshit. You talking about all the interrogations going out. I mean, you got the interrogation going out, all the phone calls going out. You try to explain it away with the interview, which I thought was a great interview, but tried to justify certain things and try to be like, oh no, that's not the same as what this person did, and see, I was lying, and that wasn't really what happened, and I was actually flirting, and it's like you years ago talking on the phone about anybody and everybody, and then your response to the fact that people are saying, bro, you talking too much, is let me go and talk more. What the fuck? Your issue is you're talking too much. You're talking too much. And then you decide I'm going to go on this. You should have ended it at that podcast, dropped the project, which I didn't listen to. And I definitely ain't listened to it after hearing a piece of Ninja. I'm good on that. Another example of being a dumbass. Painting your face white, giving yourself blue eyes and saying if you want to go big, go white. Going on interviews and saying if I want to be the biggest rapper in the world, I got to be Eminem. No, the fuck you don't. Dumbassery. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? But let's get to the king of the dumbasses. The greatest dumbass of all time. The got it. You know what I'm saying? The Godot. The Godat. You know what I'm saying? Greatest dumbass. Jadat. The Gadat. You know, you got the Gat and you got the Gadat. The greatest dumbass of all time. Let's talk about the dismissal of this case. How you doing, John Deere? The dismissal of this lawsuit, which I saw it coming. It shouldn't happen in the first place. I saw that coming from the beginning. Why the fuck would you put yourself in a situation, and when the results don't favor yourself, you want to sue? And you don't sue the person that beat your ass. You sue the person that promoted your ass getting beat. Oh my gosh. Like, what we got going on, dog? What do we have going on right now? You imagine Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Mike Tyson loses by whatever the fuck happened in that fight. And then Mike Tyson decides, all right, since it ruined my legacy that I threw the fight, you know, we're saying he threw the fight or whatever. I took the loss. You didn't beat me, but you beat me, you know what I'm saying, on like a technicality type shit. So now I'm going to sue Netflix for promoting Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul because of defamation or whatever the fuck reason. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? That shit was stupid from the beginning, and you really waited it out. You kept on trying to and this is the biggest issue with what Drake's been doing over the past year, is you keep trying to tease people as if you have more information. It's not just Drake. It's not just Drake. That's why I started the A9 cast, or restructured it, is because a lot of motherfuckers are going on platforms, social media, podcasts, saying it in music, whatever like that. They're going on platforms and they're making it seem like they have more information about things than they actually do. They speculate. They treat their speculation and they treat rumors as if they're factual things. And I do not like that, because you when you do that, you paint narratives. You sway the public opinion on certain things without them actually knowing that they're just listening to bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? And like Drake's a billionaire, or he's trying to get his masters back. He's trying to get this and that. Like, if you actually do research, Drake has his masters. His contract is a distribution contract. He got paid all that money to be able to license his music through to UMG. That's his contract. There is no masters. There is no, he doesn't own the rights to, like, yeah, they own a portion of his publishing and they own majority of his masters, but not from him, but because of what was owned by Cash Money. Cash Money owned Drake's masters, and UMG bought Cash Money, what, 2020, 2021, which means that UMG owns Drake's masters. They can't just give it to him because that's not how business works. I can't just buy it. And because the old person used to stay in the house, I would just, after a few years, I'm gonna just give them the house back. No, once I bought the house, I own the house. It's mine now. I can't just give it to you because, oh, it's the nice thing. Like, no, that's not how it works. But anyways, let's get into this. TMZ talks about Drake took a big legal loss against his own record label. So stupid. It's so stupid because his federal defamation suit against UMG has been thrown out of court. According to new legal documents obtained by TMZ, the judge ruled that allegedly defamatory statements in Not Like Us are non-actionable opinion. In other words, Drake can't sue for defamation over the song lyrics. Obviously, because if you could, then you would be getting sued for everything you've been saying about people for the past 5 to 6 years. If you listen to Drake done this, Serena Williams' husband, Rihanna's husband, Future, that lady who I always forget her name, who won some type of award. I think he got Michelle Obama's favorite song or something. Like, he won some bullshit. She won some bullshit, and Drake dissed her in a song because of it. Been throwing shots at Kendrick, throwing all the disses to Rick Ross, all the disses to The Weeknd, all the disses to Travis Scott, all the disses to Tupac. The disses, like, Drake subliminally has been dissing people his entire career. Meek Mill, you understand what I'm saying? Pusha T, Pharrell. We can keep going on and on and on and on. If you think that because Kendrick said something about you that it's liable to be sued, but nobody else that you've ever said anything about, whether it was true or false, can also sue your dumb ass? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are we talking about? As you know, Drake was suing UMG for releasing and promoting Kendrick Lamar's Vicious diss track, which they also did the same for your music. They just did their job. How you doing? Drake claimed UMG knew music video referring to Drake as a supposed PDF were false and dangerous. Yes, they knew that. And they also knew that your lyrics calling him a woman beater and that he didn't take care of that he isn't the father of his own kids, and the music video where you act like you took the van from Good Kid, Mad City and smashed it, and you waving Pharrell's chains in the music video and all the bullshit. They also knew the stuff that you were saying then were false and dangerous. If you name 15 people Drake dissed, I'll drop a $30 $30. I just did. $30 donation. I just did. Pusha T, Rick Ross, The Weeknd, Travis Scott, A$AP Rocky, Rihanna, Serena Williams' husband, Common, Meek Mill. I said Rihanna already. Who else? Let me think. We got 5 more. I gotta think, because I try and stay away from this bullshit. Meek Mill. Let's see. Because he be dissing people like, strippers that people don't know. Instagram models that people don't know. Like, how deep Drake disses go is way bigger than just naming random people. Some people you don't even know that he's dissing. Joe Budden, Academics, even though Academics be on his dick. It's crazy. Academics, Charlemagne the God. He disses everybody. Anybody. I forgot about T-Pain. Chris Brown. We could go on and on and on. It's okay if you can't name them all. I'm at 17. 17. If we could take away strippers, Instagram models, then we at 4. I'm gonna say 14. I'm gonna give you 14. Chris Brown, like I said, Academics, Joe Budden, Charlemagne the God, Meg the Stallion. We can go all day. I could keep going. Tory Lanez, and then he became friends with Tory Lanez afterwards. You can go all day about the people that Drake just be dissing for no apparent reason. Where we at? That's why I'm like, bro, if if your shit would have went through, then everybody could, you know how many lawsuits you would be getting, or UMG would be getting before the shit that you be saying? Or yeah, in this lawsuit, in dismissing lawsuit, the judge says even accusations of criminal behavior are not actionable if understood in context. They are opinion rather than fact, which is true. People say you, that doesn't make it defamation. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if you're not putting it as a fact. And that's kind of what they say is like, this isn't, yeah, here's what it said right here, not a news report. It's not like Kendrick can be a credible source for reliable information. No music or lyrics should be your credible source for real life information. You understand what I'm saying? That's just not how it should go. It's a song. It's music lyrics. There is creative. You're creating your own words, creating your own character, creating your own, you know what I'm saying? Being hyperbolic, being over, like, in with music. So trying to act like somebody had something in a rap song during a rap battle was that fact, and therefore Drake can't sue. The judge also says the average listener is not under the impression of a diss track is the product of a thoughtful or disinterested investigation. It's not that deep. They basically tell you it's not that deep, bro. You dissed him, he dissed you back. That's all it was. You trying to do all this deep dive, man. The court also noted that Kendrick's PDF line was a direct callback to Drake's lyrics, where he said, as Tupac, talk about him like young girls. This is a gift from me to you. You said that as if you had something planned if he were to go that route. And when he went that route, your plan was the whole time, I'ma sue your ass. That was it? That was your plan, bro? I'll tell you what I would say because you're the nation that is able. Hold up, I'm gonna make another message. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if what I have to do to be able to get donations. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, if I have to have a certain amount of subscribers, I don't really know how that works. Yeah, you told him if your plan since Taylor Made Freestyle was you better not talk about that or I'm gonna sue your ass. If that was your plan from the beginning, that's fucking crazy. But then you double back afterwards and say, yeah, we planted the evidence. We told you that was false information, and you need to vet your sources before you just start saying shit on records. Like, what the fuck is dumbass? A spokesperson for Universal said, tells TMZ from the outset, this was an affront to all artists and their creative expression and never should have seen the light of day. We're pleased with the course dismissed and look forward to continue our work successfully promoting Drake's music and investing in his career. I.e., get back to work. The fuck? Stupid ass. Dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. And that's a little bit of shade because they're basically saying all this shit that you doing and all stuff like that. You do realize that majority of our resources, the resources that you are claiming that we put towards Kendrick, a lot of that shit actually go to you. That's basically what they're saying. All that bot shit, all that all the shit that you claiming they did this, they pushed it further than it actually was. They made it seem more popular than it actually was to be able to get people to go along with this, and they knew it was defamatory, they knew this and that. They're basically saying, we've been doing that for you, but it's cool. We'll get back to doing it. We making hella money off of your ass, even though you fucking yourself up. Dumbass. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see if we could get some I'll tell you what I would say. What would you say in what situation? Yeah, this shit is ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous that, and this is something that he's been doing. I don't know why he's doing it. I've been telling my partners at this point he needs to take a break. Let's talk about when has Drake ever went on a hiatus? Let's go down Drake's discography, because the answer is never. Discography. Drake's never been on a hiatus. Drake's never taken a break. Drake's never stopped. You're talking about a 15-year run. And you could say, oh, well, if he stops, then, he can't be the biggest. What do you mean? What do you mean? Some of the biggest rappers we've ever had spaces in between albums, had spaces in between. They weren't always in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking about one of the biggest rappers of all time outside of Drake, then you're talking about Eminem. Eminem don't drop albums all the time. Eminem don't drop music all the time. When Eminem was at his peak in the early 2000s and the late 90s, you got some Shady L people who are 98, 99. Marshall Mathers The March Madness LP was 01. Eminem show was 03. Encore was 05. Like, we're talking about years in space, years and gaps in between to continue. He was able to sustain. You could say, oh, it's a new era, it's a new time, so now you have to be consistent, you have to do this. No, the fuck you don't, because guess what? Kendrick, when we're talking about current era, the only other the closest rapper to Drake in popularity is Kendrick Lamar. And right now, currently, he's the biggest rapper right now. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't say, oh, you have to be consistent. No, Kendrick, Damn was one of his biggest albums. Good Kid, Mad City is a classic and another huge album. To Pimp a Butterfly, like, Kendrick has been able to into the actual content of what he's putting out. Drake's music isn't deep enough to be something that you sit with for years. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be good for a few months or for a season or whatever like that. And he has a few records anytime, but I'm talking about work. Most part, not going to be good enough and deep enough and quality enough for you to be like, okay, I can sit with this for 2-3 years and I'll be good. No, Drake's going to drop some music and you're going to be like, all right, I want something else and I want something else. He's going to keep giving it to you because it's easy, because it doesn't take much thought to create. It's all surface level music from a surface level human being. You understand what I'm saying? So it's easier to just reproduce and pump it out. Drake might be using AI right now and we don't even know, because how can you tell the difference? You understand what I'm saying? Bar, we got, this is not in order. It says in order, but it's not in order. I'm trying to see 26 albums from not 2023, 2025. Talking, this shit's stupid. There we go. Let's see if this is the one. All right. On 2009, Thank Me Later, 2010. Take Care, 2011. Nothing Was the Same, 2013. So 2012, there was a break, but Drake was dropping singles for us. Nothing Was the Same, and he was doing like other stuff too in between that time. If You're Reading This Too Late, 2015, but also in between that time, he was still dropping singles and doing some bullshit. What a Time to Be Alive, 2015. Views, 2016. More Like, 2017. Scary Hours, 2018. Scorpion, 2018. Best in the World Pack, I think that was an EP. 2019. Care Package, 2019. Darling Dimitates, 2020. Scary Hours, 2021. Surf I Love Boy, 2021. Honest Come On, 2022. Her Loss, 2022. For All the Dogs, 2023. For All the Dogs, Scary Hours, 2023. 100 Gigs, 2024. And he got Iceman coming. And he has Iceman coming. He is not giving himself a break. He needs a break. He was talking about, oh yeah, after the diss, I'm about to go on vacation. I'm about to do this, that. You need way longer than however the fuck long that you didn't go on vacation after the battle, because you said you was going on vacation, right? I thought you said you was going on vacation on Family Matters, and then he came back on Heart Part 6, I believe it was. Maybe he said he was going on vacation then, but after that, you started doing the Camila Cabello thing. You had the song with, what's the dude name? Gordo, I think his name is. You started doing 100 gigs. You started putting out videos and clips and images of people to remind them who you are and whatever fuck was the purpose of that. Like, you never took a real break. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people was like, no, the last thing we need is for Drake to really take a break. But then at the same time, people are acting as if Drake isn't around them. Or, oh, it's not the same if Drake isn't around. Oh, man, things have been dying off since Drake been gone. Wow. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? This man done dropped about 60 songs since the battle. He ain't gone. Nokia was a pretty big song. He ain't gone. He's still here. He just ain't the same person. But that has to do with him personally. He has to take the time for himself to take care of that and handle that. You can't just keep making songs and keep putting music out that's going to fix your own personal problems. That's not how it works. You have to deal with those things, learn from those things, and then create music afterwards to show your growth as a person. If you're not allowing yourself to grow as a person, you're going to keep giving us, you're going to be the 40-year-old rapper that's still rapping like you're 21 years old. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not what you want for your legacy. You understand what I'm saying? Because then people are like, damn, yeah, he was good at one point. When some people been saying, I still feel like Drake's best album was Nothing Was the Same. Some people could say Take Care, but they're right around each other in time period. I don't think after that, I don't think he's really done anything too crazy. What a Time to Be Alive, but that's Future. I think her Loss was good, but that's 21 Savage. I think, and I've been saying this for years. I've been saying it to my partners for years. Drake is best when he's not over exposed. You understand what I'm saying? When he's doing features, when he's got a collab project, or when it's an EP where it's only 3 or 4 songs, I feel like that's him at his best, because he's not giving you too much. He's giving you a little, and then, you know what I'm saying? But when he's giving you these 20 plus song albums where he's giving you all these songs that have no connection to each other, that all have similar subject matter, super service level, don't mean anything deep, bunch of shots, a bunch of this, a bunch of this, a bunch of that. It's just like, all right, bro, I get it. I get it. You don't like nobody but yourself. You hate everyone that isn't you. We get it. Can we get something else now? You understand what I'm saying? But I just want to talk about this. Want to hop on this real quick. Just talk about the dumbassery of Young Thug real quick. Talk about the dumbassery of Drake real quick. And the next question is, what's next? What's next? So they say he's up trying. So he's trying to go back into the lawsuit again. But why? If there's information you have now, or if there's information that would make the case go further, why not present it in the first place so it wouldn't have gotten dismissed? The case got dismissed because you had no evidence of anything you were claiming, and nothing that you said was factual. Everything was opinion, and you gave just as much harsh opinion and harsh critique and diss records, if not more, towards Kendrick than he did towards you. So what are you suing for? And now you're apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, they're saying he's going for an appeal. Now you're going for an appeal. What do you have now that you didn't have before? Do you have some evidence? You were asking for 100 fucking documents to prove your point. So if you're asking for all these documents, you didn't have no evidence in the first place. So now you got to go back again on a subject matter or on a point that you never had evidence of in the first place, that UMG has this conspiracy, because this is what they want to say. He has this conspiracy to take Drake down because they don't want to get $100 million under his new deal because of this and because of that. Once again, misinformation. They're saying, oh, he was trying to go under Sony, and Sony offered him $600 million, and he asked UMG to kind of match that, and they told him no. Well, of course they told him fucking no, because Sony did not do that. What would Sony give him $600 million for? If Drake leaves Universal, which he at this point he can't, he's either going to have or stay there. If Drake leaves Universal and goes over to Sony, he's not taking his catalog with him. It would have to be only Drake's new music. And new Drake, when old Drake is the one that's been making the money for UMG. It wouldn't make any sense. They wouldn't offer him $600 million for new material. They can't just transfer all of the catalog, all the publishing, all the masters from UMG and transfer it all over to Sony. That's not how that works. Sony is not paying $600 million for all of Drake that exists on UMG. They're paying for the artist Drake. Maybe they could have offered him $100 million, $200 million maybe, which I doubt, but maybe they could have offered him that. But saying that Sony offered Drake $600 million and UMG refused to match it, and that's why they're trying to take him down and devalue him so he don't go anywhere else, that makes no fucking sense if you know about how the music industry works. If you know how the music business works, if you know how masters and owning masters works. If Drake leaves UMG and goes over to Sony, he's not taking his masters under Cash Money because he doesn't own it. UMG owns it. They're not just going to give up something they own because Drake's going to a new label. No, y'all can have him. You understand what I'm saying? There is no conspiracy. I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, about the Eminem conspiracy theories people try to create because Eminem went on hiatus for a good 4 years. So now they try and piece together and say these things connect to these things. There is no conspiracy. The man was going through a drug addiction and he gave up on rap for a few years. That's all it has to be. That's exactly what he's been saying in his records for years. That's what he's been saying in his interviews for years, that I was not able to rap. I had to reteach myself how to rap. I was uninspired. I had writer's block. I was strung out on drugs, this and that. This is why I was gone, but I'm back and I'm going to try and continue my legacy as it goes forward. Now you can say whether he succeeded or not, which you can't say he didn't succeed because he's fucking Eminem, but conspiracy theories. We gotta stop with these conspiracy theories. We gotta stop with trying to make things make sense that don't make fucking sense. Especially as outsiders who don't really know the details of shit, but act like you know the details of shit. You go on podcasts, you go on your live streams, acting like you know the actual details of something. So you say shit that makes audience, they're going to take it and run with it. Sony didn't offer you no $600 million for your new music. Had your last #1 record was in, which was the what's the shit called? The right foot slide, left foot shit. That shit. 2020, COVID was the last time you had a #1 hit record. Ever since then, you've been, and they're trying to say, oh, they're trying to suppress him. That's why he hasn't got no #1. What song has Drake dropped that would have been #1? In the last 5 years, what was a guarantee? Oh yeah, this is the one Drake song. That wasn't a feature. Because I think his last #1 was what? What the fuck is that shit called? The Too Sexy song. That song was trash. That song was ass. You know what I'm saying? I think he might have had in a first person shooter, which is J. Cole. When he collabs with other people's audiences like he usually does, that's what usually pushes him. When you talk about all the other number ones Drake have, then you have to go and this is why the what's the fuck? He put so many people on and he gave so many people so many hits and they deserve they owe him respect and they owe him this and that because he gave people hits and he put people on and he did this and that. The rewriting of history is so insane. Do you know, besides Lil Wayne, besides Birdman, you know who contributed a lot to the success of Drake and the wide pop appeal of Drake? You know who contributed to it the most? If you go through history, you know what I'm saying, which I've been going through chart history, been listening to a lot of music from different decades, especially R&B and stuff like that, but also like, you know, country rock or stuff like that. Do you know who contributed the most to putting Drake where he is at outside of Cash Money and Young Money? Rihanna. I think Drake's first #1 song was with Rihanna. You got. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. A lot of Drake's biggest songs were from Rihanna. He gained a lot. Of course, Drake was already building a fan base of black women supporters. But once you link up with Rihanna, Rihanna is Rihanna. We forget that when you look at a list of the artists with the most #1s, the main ones is the Beatles. I think you can put Elvis in there. The Beatles, Elvis, Mariah Carey, Rihanna. Nobody has more big hit records than those 4 people. You understand what I'm saying? When you talk about, he's going to tie with Michael Jackson, this and that. Yeah, Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson, of course. But Mariah Carey got about 19 #1 hit records. You understand what I'm saying? Rihanna has 17. Elvis, Beatles had 20. Drake's only at what, 12? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to top of Michael. But let me look for Rihanna songs featuring Drake. You talking about Rihanna, and then when you talk one of the first Drake songs I heard besides what's the shit called? I forgot what the shit called. But one of the first big Drake songs that I remember hearing was "I Want to Be Successful" with Drake songs. That was one of the first Drake songs that I remember hearing in like 2009 or something like that. So he got himself to a certain point by himself and then put people on. No, you were put on and then you put people on afterwards. You got "Work" by Rihanna, which was a huge song. "What's My Name" by Rihanna, which was a huge song. What's the other song? And by that time, when Drake started coming out, Rihanna was already established. She was already "Take Care," "Work," "What's My Name," "Too Good." He was working with Rihanna because he knew the power that Rihanna had. And "What's My Name" was huge. "Work" definitely was huge. I have a video from years ago talking about how much I hate that song. And this exact same man disrespects Rihanna any chance he gets. Any chance he gets. We can't have this idea of, he put people on, he gave people hit records, so they owe him loyalty, they owe him respect, they shouldn't be talking bad about him. Yet Drake can go and talk bad about Rihanna every single album whenever he feels like it. As if she didn't give him his first multiple big records. You understand what I'm saying? It's just crazy. That goes into for people's weird way of treating Drake like he's a fucking child. That goes into how people just cope for him so much, stretch the truth, create narratives and things to make it seem like he's whatever the fuck he is. Is Drake one of the biggest rappers of all time? Yes. Is Drake being oppressed and suppressed by the record labels because of because he wants to go independent and get his masters back and they don't want to give it to him? Hell the fuck no. Drake loves working for UMG because UMG suppresses other artists for him, which was the whole point in the lawsuit, was the fact that UMG was able to suppress Pusha T. UMG was able to stop some Rick Ross songs from going out. UMG was able to suppress and silence anybody and everybody on behalf of Drake, except for Kendrick. And that's why he was suing them. So there's belief that, he wants to leave the label and he's been purposely making bad albums to give to the label because he's trying to get out of his contract. Do I think he's been trying to rush music to get out of his contract? No, I do think that he's trying to re-up on some money because he has a gambling problem, prostitute bottom, like all those things. But no, I don't think it's this big conspiracy that he's trying to get out of his deal and that he hates being under UMG. He's been trying to get from under them for such a long time, and he's just trying to find a way to get from up under them. No, that's not true. The UMG re-sign of Drake, the $400 million deal, was 2022. If he's been trying to get from up under them, why did he resign? You can't say, oh, he's been purposely giving out trash albums to get from under his deal. CLB, that was before the $400 million deal. Scorpion was before the $400 million deal. More Life was before the $400 million deal. Her Loss, all these things, this has consistently been Drake the whole time. It's just his quality has been dying down because people are growing up and he's just not as focused as he once was. Which, you know how you can solve that? By taking a fucking break. Nobody's telling you to do this. You're choosing to do this, and then you want people to feel bad for you because you're overworking yourself. Or you're signing contracts to where you're in a slave deal and you gotta overwork yourself. This is all your fault. It's all your fault. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. This is all your fault. You're a fucking dumbass. Young Thug, I fuck with a lot of your music. I'm not listening to that last shit. It sounded ass. You a fucking dumbass. And you had Mariah the Scientist and you just fucked that up. You a fucking dumbass. Oh my gosh, but that's it for me. I'm out. I'll be back. I'll see when I'll be back if something pops up. If I want to have, I've had a couple of discussions I wanted to have. I had the time with just work and so much other stuff to like start taking notes or whatever like that on certain things. But we're gonna get back to like the little more scripted stuff. Like it wasn't exactly scripted, it wasn't edited, it was still live. But I would have notes or whatever like that on what I want to talk about, stuff like that. So we're gonna get to that, back to that. But I put it on my Instagram. 2 minute people back to lying on the microphones, making shit up, turning rumors and gossip into actual and putting it out like it's actual facts, misleading the public into pushing certain narratives and certain ideas and believing certain things that aren't true. They doing it again. So I gotta come back. I gotta call people dumbasses. I gotta call people coons. I gotta call people liars. I just gotta do it. It's my duty. That's it for me. About Too Sweet. Dudes, shout out everybody that came in. Shout out dude that tried to give me ask me to name 15 people that Drake may have dissed more people than any other rapper in history of hip hop. I can't think of it, maybe except for The Game. The closest person to dissing people or mentioning people or subliminally talking to people, nobody's dissed more people than Drake. Maybe Joe Budden. But Drake, most of his is going to include a shot to somebody. Even if you know them or not. Like I said, he disses strippers. He disses escorts. He just disses exes. He disses anybody and everybody whenever he gets in his feelings about anything, which is majority of the time. Even if you listen to early Drake, it comes off as, oh, I'm such a sad, lonely man. I'm just looking for love. A lot of that shit is just bitching and complaining and blaming the woman for all your own personal issues, which is a diss. It's crazy. All that dissing and you got dismissed. Dumbass. That's it with me. About Too Sweet. Deuces.